Hey, welcome to another episode of the Rob Report. I'm your host, Robert BOBTV Brown. Before we get into the segment, by the end of this video, I want you to do a few things for me. First of all, if you like the video, hit the like button. Please do. If you don't like it, hit unlike. It's okay. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Sometimes, as Jimmy Dole would say, you find yourself unsubscribed and you need to make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell right next to it so you can be notified when a new video is being dropped. Whoop, there it is. And more importantly, the super chat will be on for this segment. So if you want to donate toward the efforts of Bob TV, that's freely up to you. I do have a job, but any amount will help toward the growth of this channel. And more important, let us help you help us by introducing you to a program. There's a link down below that says Equal Justice for All. You're going to click that video link and there's some educational tutorial about a phenomenal program in America that is really making equal justice a reality for every citizen. So this program is phenomenal. The proceeds from you participating in the program will go back, 10% will go back into the Bob TV YouTube channel. So anyway, my name is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Let's get into it. Hey, good day. Welcome to another episode of Rob Report. I'm your host, Robert BOBTV Brown. How you doing today? What is going on? Is the Democratic Party doing what we all knew they were going to do? Cheat. I just recently talked to somebody and we were going back and forth in the chat about trying to change something from the inside. I am not trying to change anything from the inside. I can care less about the Democratic Party. I can care less about the Republican Party. We need to have something to push both of them to the freaking middle. And you can't push the Republican Party to the middle and you are in a party that's extreme left sometimes, extreme right sometimes, it's extremely moderate. A mixture. I mean, we got people in this party, in the Democratic Party, that is schizophrenic. They don't know what they want to do. They want to be conservative. They want to be leftist. They want to be extreme left. They want to be moderate conservative. We have a Democratic Party that is schizophrenic. Yeah, you think you can come in and play doctor and get all of them over to the left, or you can get all of them over to the right, all of them into the middle. There's a battle for the party. And I'm saying to all my friends, you go ahead and fight that battle. You go do it. Don't expect me to do it. Don't expect me to endorse it. I'm pointing my finger like Ric Flair. First off, the nature boy Ric Flair. Style and profile, them style. I'm not going to do it. I'm not wasting my energy. I can care less about the Democratic Party. I'm not registering. I'm not registering to vote for somebody in the Democratic Party unless they make a demand for my needs, for my community needs. And I don't care what you or anybody else got to say about it. That's just the way it is with me. And it's the way it is with a lot of other people. And I support them and I endorse them and I push them. Don't take care of my community. Don't ask us to take care of you, Democratic Party. And we sure ain't going to do nothing for the Republican Party. Well, you're going to allow you're going to allow the Republican Party because you won't pressure your party to take care of the needs of the black community. The black community is not taking any more mess no more. We're not going to be falling for the promises. I don't care how beautiful your platform is. Barack Obama had some good ideas. As soon as he got in office, he caved into the Republicans. He became almost like the Democratic version of Ronald Reagan. Oh yeah, he was so interested in reaching across the aisle, and all they wanted to do was reach across the aisle and smack him in the face with no. All these promises, yet he didn't have the power. And that's what I keep telling people. I don't care who in office. They can promise to give you all these things and you want that. And we want these things to happen, but they can't do it alone. You got to win the House. You got to win the Senate and the majority. And I'm not talking about your party. I'm talking about the people that need to sit in those seats in the House and Senate need to go along with your agenda. That's why I am not mad or upset with Bernie Sanders starting our revolution. Even though I'm not a fan of Chink Unger, but Chink and Kyle Kalinske starting just as Democrats, our revolution. brand new Congress. I'm not mad at those organizations because they're trying to do that. But to me, you're trying to take over a party. Eventually, there are going to be some insurgents when you're in control. And I'm saying we need something outside of that party. And that's what I'm focused on. And you can kiss my behind whether you like it or not. I don't care. And this is the reason why I'm saying this. Because no matter what you say, the Democratic bylaws basically says, and I think I got a little clipping going on here. Give me a moment. The DNC bylaws basically says this. We can do whatever we want to do. We control the situation. We're a separate entity. We're a corporation pretty much, and we can make decisions. We can make backroom deals. We don't care nothing about the bylaw. We can get a deal with Bernie Sanders on this platform, and we can take it and wipe our behind with it. Here we are, case in point, Tulsi Gabbard makes it to 2 polls and donors, yet she hasn't been confirmed to be in the debates yet. Tom Steyer, who nobody is really polling, the polling is fake as I don't know what, is manipulated. Who in the world is supporting Tom Steyer over Tulsi Gabbard? Here it is, Tulsi Gabbard is the most searched person in the debates. After the debates, she is the most visceral person in the debates. She'll cut you down in a minute. Ask Kamala Harris and ask that other nutwing. She'll call you out and make you look stupid. And they don't like the fact that she has the power to do that. And she did that to Kamala Harris, made her look like a doggone fool, the fool that she is. And now they want to do whatever they can to keep her off the debate stage. Why? Because she's going to do it again. She might gravel them. She gravelanched them. And they don't want to gravelaunch on the debates. They're going to do her just like they did Mike Gravel. Reached the donor list, but she qualified in a few polls, over 2%. But that's not our polls. Those are not the polls that we choose. So you're going to make this about what you choose instead of what the American public choose? Again, a Democratic Party acting like a dictatorship. They're going to dictate who gets in that ship when it comes to the debates, not you. You can poll it up all you want and you can give it money all you want. All they're going to do is they're going to require that you realize every time they came up with this strategy to put money in the Democratic Party, not necessary to the candidate. So they're making them perform like a monkey. They're making you perform like a monkey by giving you all these donations and getting you to answer the polling, but yet they're not calling you. How many people up here in the chat down here and ask me, did they call you and ask you some questions about the debates? No. But I'm going to get into this article real quick because this is ridiculous. The Democratic Party doing this to Tulsi Gabbard. What you think they're going to do to Bernie Sanders? I keep telling y'all think these people are going to go ahead and play fair, and they not. They could care less about that. Again, they are a dictatorship. They're going to dictate who gets in that ship when it comes to that primary. And this is the reason why Trump is going to win 2020. It's not because Trump is so good. It's not because he got a huge base. You got the Democratic Party that's going to piss off their own base with stupid stuff like this. This is from Fortune magazine. It said they're nearly a month to go into the next Democratic presidential debate, but 2020 candidates have less than 2 weeks to qualify, facing a deadline of August the 28th, and that is in 9 days. The crowded field started debate season with 20 candidates qualifying by either hitting 1% in 3 polls or getting donations from 65,000 individual donors. In preparation for the third debate to be held on September 12th and the 13th in Houston and hosted by ABC and Univision, the Democratic National Committee, a bunch of crooks, sought to make it more, they didn't say that, but I had that in there, sought to make it more difficult for candidates to meet the qualifying criteria. This time around, a candidate must have received donations from 130,000 individuals, including at least 400 donors in the minimum of 20 different states. See, they're trying to make it tougher. Candidates must also hit at least 2% in 4 polls to appear in the debate stage next, and can be nationally or early state polls. Now, I'm going to stop right there. So, in other words, you made it to this phase. We're going to make it even difficult. We're going to start weeding y'all behind out. And who are they going to try to weed out now they're controlling this mechanism? It's going to be the ones who can shame the ones that they want to put in the ship. Eligible polls must have been released between June 28th and August 28th and can be national or early state polls. They must also be conducted by a set of pre-approved organizations. Pre-approved organization. You don't get to pre-approve the organization. The Democratic Party get to pre-approve an organization. Again, the Democratic Party is not a Democratic Party. It's a dictatorship. They're going to determine how this thing go, not the people. Much as I hate the Republicans, they ain't doing this crap. Now, I'm getting kind of frustrated, and I'm kind of being silent for a moment. Because you people up here think the Democratic Party is just going to all of a sudden be a left-wing party without a fight to the death. Blood. These people are not going to give up. They're going to hold on to this power by hook or crook, and both. Hook and crook. A candidate cannot, however, use multiple polls covering the same geographic area. This is rigging, folks. This is cheating. By the same organization to count toward this criteria. The bottom line, we'll get to this. The bottom line, let me get it before I get off my chest. The bottom line is you do not control a doggone thing in this election. You can go out there and vote, and it still may not count to your vote. Now, I often say, people, go ahead and vote. I used to tell people, go ahead and vote. Vote your belief, vote your purpose, vote your drive, vote for what you think, who you think cater toward the needs that you believe in the country. But it's hard to do something like that in this freaking party. That's why I'm independent. And like I said, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me again. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me again, shame on me. See, the Democratic Party got me on that mess. Bad enough they rigged this election against Bernie Sanders. Bad enough Hillary Clinton pretty much got the DNC out of debt and decided to take control of the DNC incognito through Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Tulsi Gabbard saw the mess that they were doing. She said, I don't want no parts of it, and stepped down. The integral woman she is, she didn't want no parts of the cheat. And she started running her mouth about it, and they hate her for that. And they probably say that she is the reason why Hillary Clinton didn't win the nomination, because she didn't stay in there and went along with our freaking cheating plans. Had we continued to cheat through this whole thing, Hillary Clinton would have beat Donald Trump. Get out of here. The woman started calling this stuff out. And then the woman saw the rigging, and she said, look, we need to fix this thing. We need to change the way we vote. We need to go back to paper ballots. We need to go to ranked choice voting. We need to do whatever we can to change the process to make it more democratic for the people to make these decisions, not these numbnut politicians. Many bloodsuckers, politics. Here they are rigging the doggone election and could care less whether you like it or not. A candidate, however, used multiple polls covering the same geographic area conducted by the same organization to count toward this criteria. Says who? The people or the Democratic Party? It's the Democratic Party because they're a bunch of cheats. Despite these requirements, 9 candidates have already made the cut. All right, so they're saying 9 candidates made the cut through these criteria. Former Vice President Joe Biden. Who in the blue hell in heaven are they calling to get Joe Biden to make it to these polls? Older, elderly white people and older, elderly black people. 45 and under, or let's say 35 and under. Let's say 45 and under black people decide to support Biden. 35 and under is not supporting Biden. Senator Bernie Sanders, of course. He's the most popular senator. You better have him up there. Senator Elizabeth Warren, Senator Kamala Harris. How in the world Senator Kamala Harris keep qualifying? Who are they calling? Senator Cory Booker. Senator Amy Cloud Buttigieg. Who in the hell is saying Senator Amy Klobuchar is the one that should be in this thing? Who? Mayor Pete Buttigieg, Beto O'Rourke, who couldn't even beat Ted Cruz in his own state. Who in the world across the country is polling him and giving him all these donations? Most of these donations are coming from wealthy elite donors, and that's how they qualify for these polls. Castro similarly needs just one more poll of 2%. Now let's get to Tulsi Gabbard. They say Tulsi Gabbard has exceeded the 130,000 donor threshold, but has one qualifying poll. She has reached at least 2% in 2 other polls. So she qualified in 3 polls. They're trying to say she didn't qualify. She need one more poll to qualify. What poll are you talking about? Because from what I know, she's qualifying in more than 3. She could also appear on stage in September. The final candidate that appears to have a shot is Kirsten Gillibrand, who has one qualifying poll and is nearing the donor requirement. That leaves Governor Jay Inslee, Marion Wilson, Senator Michael Bennet, Steve Bullock, Mayor de Blasio, former Representative John Delaney, Seb Moulton, Representative Tim Ryan, former Representative Joe Sestak. All of them are unlikely to make it to the next debate, and they shouldn't. Now, Marion Wilson, they definitely going to keep her off the debate because they don't want reparation to be talked about on the stage for blacks. And she is the only vanguard, the only voice, the only charge for it in this debate. And what's the easiest way to get her out? Say she didn't qualify. Former John Hickenlooper, who dropped out of the race, thank God, Thursday also had not met the requirements to make it to the third debate. Yet, even though there may be just somewhere between 9 and 13 candidates who meet the criteria of the September debate, it's still not over for the remaining candidates. The DNC has decided that polls counted toward the third debates, those conducted between June 28 and August 28, who dropped out of the race Thursday, also had not met the requirement to make it to the third debate. Yet, even though there may be just somewhere between 9 and 13 candidates who meet the criteria for September debate, it is still not over for remaining candidates. The DNC had decided to poll counting toward the third debates, those conducted between June 28 and I just read that, can also count toward the fourth debate to be held in October. That means that all the candidates will essentially have another month to meet the requirements, potentially deterring some of the lower performing candidates from dropping out of the race. With more than 20 candidates still remaining and the fairly lax criteria to make it to the fourth debate, it remains to be seen how long it will take for the field to nationally wine itself out. You want to know what the truth is? Somebody like Marion Wilson, who is pushing for reparation, they don't want that on the table because it's going to be a divisive issue, and it is designed to be divisive. And to me, if you got a problem with reparation, then maybe there's a little deep racism in you. You don't think black people deserve to have restitution, financial restitution, not educational, not programs, financial restitution for us using their ancestors for our own gain? Really? Come on. Look, give me a moment. Really? So she don't need to be on that stage? Because we got to shut her up about this because we don't want her calling our people out. But let's get back to Tulsi Gabbard. Here you are, a woman who shut Kamala Harris down and shut, what's his name down? The guy, I can't even think of his name. He's such a loser. Shut him down with the truth, with facts. They're going to do everything in their power to keep her out of this debate, especially if she's going to be going against their chosen Obama/Hillary Clinton, all wrapped up in one, Kamala Harris, because they want to make sure she gets some kind of spot, if not the presidency, the vice presidency. See, I think the fix is in. It's going to be Joe Biden that they want in their ship, and Kamala Harris as vice president and their ship, setting them up for a so-called 8-year term because Joe's only going to do 4, Kamala come in and do 4, maybe 8. So I give them 12 years. So they're going to dictate this ship by putting this, which is a dictatorship. Yet here we got Tulsi Gabbard, most popular, most sought out person. They're trying to say she's not polling 2% in more than 3 polls. Get out of here with this mess. 9 times 10, she's polling very well in a lot of polls, but you're not going to report it because they're not your polls. Everything got to be pre-approved by the DNC. In other words, we run this, not you, the people. How do you guys feel about that? How do you feel about the Democratic Party saying we only need your freaking votes? But in the end, we going to count who we believe should be in that office. We did it with Hillary Clinton, and we're going to do it in this election, too. So Bernie Sanders ain't going to make jack. Tulsi Gabbard ain't going to make jack. Now, my question is, what are you guys doing to stop this from happening? There's a petition. I'll try to link it here. You can use that petition as a first step to get her in the base. Number 2, continue to give her money. Number 3, they're not polling you, so you might have to call these polling companies and say, how come you guys don't ask the real people the question about Tulsi Gabbard qualifying? You might have to call each and every one of these polls that they require and call them out to the carpet and ask them why they ain't calling you. Who are you calling? Because the gig is up. The system is rigged. And if they're doing this to Tulsi Gabbard now, what you think they're going to do to Bernie Sanders in the end? Now, back to Bernie Sanders. What have Bernie Sanders done to guarantee that this will not happen? I tell you what Trump did in 2016. He said, if one of y'all son of a guns rigged this election against me, I'm going to split this whole thing in half. I'm going to go independent, and I'm going to take most of your people, and you're going to lose to the Democrats. They didn't want that, so they didn't touch them. And that's why I say Bernie need to get just as bold as about that as anybody. Be bold. Or are you a punk, Bernie? Are you going to let the Democratic Party punk you out like that? Or you, Tulsi Gabbard, going to let the Democratic Party punk you out? Tulsi Gabbard sued Google for suppressing her advertisements and her searches. Tulsi Gabbard, will you do that to the Democratic Party? Call them out for the riggers that they are? Would you say the same thing? That, look, if you do this, I'm running independent. Can Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard get together, or Elizabeth Warren get together and say, look, if we find that you guys are not honoring your rules and regulations and the bylaws of the DNC platform, not the platform, but the rules and regulations in the Democratic Party, or you just crapping on the platform, we're going to split this whole party. See, I'm looking for a split. I encourage a split. Because they don't want Trump to be president in another 8 years, and that the fear of loss is much greater than the ease of gain. And the problem with some people up here and all across America is you're too easy to give up your endorsement. No, I'm not. I'm gonna make you poop in your pants thinking that if people like me don't vote for your candidate, we're going to get Donald Trump. That's what I want, because that's how I grab power and make demands from you. And if you don't meet that demand, it's not my fault because Donald Trump became the president again. It's your fault because you're too much a punk and did not want to cave into the demands of my community. You'd rather give power to Donald Trump than answer the simple demands of my community. Power has to be seized. And in this case, Tulsi Gabbard, Bernie Sanders, and so-called progressive need to seize power by making a bold statement saying, if you end up rigging this election against me, we're all together going to detach away from this party, and we taking most of the Democratic progressives with us. You know who's going to join them? Non-Democratic progressives. Oh, but we need you to join the Democratic Party so we can vote for this person. No, you need to join the Democratic Party to vote for this person. Leave my vote alone. I do whatever I want. I'm a grown man, and I have mindset, and I have thinking, and I have belief. And if you're not gonna flow with what I want, don't be asking me for something without giving something up in return. I am not a slut voter. You're not gonna get nothing free from me. So that's the bottom line. Is they're rigging this thing against Tulsi Gabbard. It is disgusting. It is appalling. And myself, if anybody that I would throw support, and I'm not saying I'm supporting her, so don't get it twisted, it's Tulsi Gabbard for the simple fact that, sure, I will call out on the fact that she been shunning off a cash payment, because I would continue to talk about her on that as she keep doing that. But she had nothing to do with the crime bill. Why are you always bringing that up? Because that has affected my community to this very date. And yes, Bernie Sanders have a new crime bill, but the point I keep making to y'all, and y'all don't like it, don't try to fix the problem without apologizing for being a part of the problem. A signature on that bill, regardless of what other things that were in that bill, still led to the problem. And there was more black men and black women and Latino men and Latino women and kids that got decimated, killed, harmed, framed, locked up than most of the women getting beat in America. That is an important issue, but that should have been detached. You shouldn't have signed that. You should have declared, I will not support this bill. They're trying to put a catch-22 in this bill for me to support this and crap on the black community in the effort to save women from getting beat up. No, I'm going to personally work on a bill by myself outside of this bill, and I want y'all support. And any person that don't support this bill as a standalone, I will call you out and demand that you step down from your position. There's no excuse for it. Now I'm done with this particular segment of the Rob Report. I want to see some guts. I want to see some galls, balls. I want to see all that come from these politicians. The Democratic Party plan on rigging the system against you. They don't want you, and they're going to find some way to get rid of you leftist commies, as they would like to call socialists. They'll rather side with the Republican against you than let you win. What are you going to do about it?